Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Clanahan with LinkedAll Aerial Solutions. I want to say thank you for everybody that's attending here today, and we've got a few people trickling in and so forth. So feel free to come on in, and if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to put it in the questions section. As I mentioned, my name is Michael Clanahan with LinkedAll Aerial Solutions. We're based here in Houston, Texas. We are actually a DJI certified repair center and a DJI certified dealer. We're a full service solutions provider along with those repairs. We focus primarily on construction, agriculture, public safety, energy, and oil and gas. I'm accompanied here with Sergeant Henry with the Fulshear Police Department. Sergeant Henry, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, saying a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Michael. My name is Bill Henry. I'm with the Fulshear Police Department. I'm a patrol sergeant with Fulshear. I am also in charge of the UAS program, the drone program. So in the process of last year, we just started our drone program, revamped it, and so I'm in charge of that as well.
Thank you, sir. So we'll dive right into it. So as far as LinkedAll is concerned, we really pride ourselves on sales and service here. As I mentioned, we're here in Houston, Texas, and we were established in 2015. We're not only an authorized DJI dealer, but we also work with Altel, FLIR Systems, Drone Deploy, Drone Sense, and many others. This allows us to really focus in on the energy, construction, public safety, and agriculture industries. And as far as what we do, we really kind of help you be successful as a customer. As far as hardware and software sales, technical support, repairs and maintenance, training, rentals, and even product development. So every aspect, we're able to dive right into it with our customers. What makes us so unique as far as LinkedAll Aerial Solutions goes is that we are an authorized dealer, but we actually have an in-house technician who is certified through DJI. We're here local, so we support a lot of local departments in the Houston and surrounding areas. We also offer premium support. So if you have any issues out in the field, we can definitely help you out with that. And among many of our customers include Fulshear PD, Rosenberg, Humble, Galveston PD, and even Pampa PD out in West Texas. So as you can see, we cover a wide gambit of customers. The integration of the drone program with our with Sergeant Henry with Fulshear Police Department.
Thank you, Michael. We have a drone. We started out with the Inspire 1 pictured here in 2015. It's, as you know, if anybody knows anything about the Inspire 1, it's very limited. It has no sensors as far as obstacle avoidance. It's got a basic Zenmuse camera. So for the technology back then, it was great. We had it for about 6 years, and so kind of exceeded its lifespan. So we started to revamp our program last year. We talked to other agencies such as Payload, Rosenberg, Missouri City, Memorial Villages, saw what they were using, saw what they were doing. Great guys like Brandon and John and Larry. Great, valuable insight. So we looked at what we wanted, what we were trying to do, looked at our needs and our wants, and come up and reached out to LinkedAll, and we're able to acquire the M300. So that back in December. Once we decided what we wanted, I think it was within 2 weeks, we had our M300 from you guys. And since December, we've already acquired 3 more drones. So our fleet is growing rapidly. We just got the Matrice, the Mavic 2 Advanced on Monday. So, I mean, we continue to grow our fleet. And for the purpose of serving the community, we're out here on the west end of Portland County, kind of all by ourselves. So any kind of air asset takes us a while to get to request one. So now we're more capable on our own. We have our own assets, our own air assets, our own technology. And this is kind of the new, drones are kind of the forefront of new technology in law enforcement. So we're trying to keep up with that trend. And thanks for the help of you guys and all those other guys I mentioned, we're able to do that. We're able to keep the citizens of Fulshear safe with the latest, greatest technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as we move forward, there's many departments out there that don't necessarily have a drone program. So, if you don't mind going into detail about before you had your drone program versus after that, after you started it.
Okay. Yeah, like I said before, you don't know what you're missing until you get a drone. Like I said before, we wait an hour. Now we can be in the air within minutes. So before it was, if the air asset was even available, if the helicopter could even come out, if they were even on duty. Now we have drones on all the shifts. We're getting some pilots trained up, all getting their 107 licenses. So before it's a night and day difference. You don't know what you're missing as far as having an asset like that. And so see what your needs are, what your, of course, get to buy in from the admin. You talk to them, see what, you get them on board. It makes life much easier. So now we have several different assets we can choose from. We got increased flight time. We got increased vision capabilities. We now have thermal capabilities. So we have so much more that we didn't have. It's a game changer. And like I said, it's the future of law enforcement.
Absolutely. And do you see, as far as response time, obviously, with the helicopter, it takes a longer time period, and now with the drone,
Yeah.
It's within minutes.
They say time is money, but in our profession, it's we're saving lives. So it could mean minutes, could mean the difference between life and death on, like, say, missing person or something like that. We've had missing persons go out, and before, with the Inspire One, we had no thermal capabilities and no zoom. So now we have much greater capability, and we're able to be aloft in minutes versus waiting hours on somebody. And you're also talking to the guys you work with. You're speaking the same language. We have the ability to live stream, so they're seeing what I'm seeing. I can send them a link; they can view what I'm viewing, so they have greater situational awareness. So it's a total game changer in law enforcement. It's the future of law enforcement.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and as far as every department does it a little bit differently, but as far as best practices, what you should and shouldn't do when growing or starting that drone program, you see Sergeant Henry with Fulshear?
Like I said, first thing, I kind of got interested in it personally, and like I said, we had a drone here. It didn't really get utilized, so I started looking into it and revamping the program, and I saw everything that was involved. So it kind of overwhelmed me at first. So I reached out to other agencies, see what they were doing. Like I said, those great guys, Brandon, John, and Larry at Pearland and Rosenberg and stuff, they were really helpful. And that's how I found out about LinkedAll. They referred me to LinkedAll. We got our old drone repaired with you guys, and now we're back in business we're up to 5 drones in just 6 months. But the best practices, you want to make sure that you do your research, see what you got to have community buy-in. That's big. We've been doing Boy Scout demonstrations. We have a lot of community involvement. Getting them on board, not only your admin, but you want to get the community on board, because you don't want to be seen as big brother. So you want to get those guys on board to be on your side, to show that you're there to help them, not to spy on them or anything like that. You want to make sure that you get your training. Important. We train with Fort County. We try to do it 2 times a month, every other Wednesday. We're practice search and rescue scenarios, stuff like that. Hone our skills. Training. You want to get your pilot's license with their 107. Get your certificate of authorization, your waivers, and all that stuff. a lot of FAA rules. You want to make sure you're following those. There's so many. Plus, Texas has some strict drone laws. We're working on. Brandon's playing a big role in getting some of those updated. But you want to make sure you're aware of the drone laws specific to law enforcement in Texas. Government Code 423. It's very specific to the law enforcement in Texas, and so not only have those agencies been a big help, finding out what we need to do and the right way to do it. LinkedAll has been a big help of what we need to do in getting us the right assets to accomplish what the mission we're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. So as far as integration goes, as Sergeant Henry mentioned, we help you through the entire process, from sales to service to continuing on with your purchasing process to growing your drone program. So from the get-go, we help you identify the right tool for the right job, and that way you make the right drone solution and service selection. And then on every purchase that you actually make through us, we will help make sure it's set up properly, quality check it, make sure it's ready to go for you, and then offer any type of beginner training. If you like, we can actually come out there and show you how to operate it, show you how to use the software, and then also use any software that you have purchased through us so that you're successful out in the field. And then as far as selecting a drone program or starting a drone program, we'll walk you through that process. As I mentioned, the selection of the drone, downloading the proper software, making sure it's the right software for the right drone, and then also pointing in the right direction as far as Part 107 or any type of hands-on training we can help you with too. And as far as integrating into the field, we're here to support you guys in your day-to-day operations. Now, Sergeant Henry, if you don't mind touching base on the applications that you see with the Fulshear PD.
Like I said, we started revamping our program back in December, and we started out with just in the public safety aspect in mind of it. But since then, we've also got other departments in the city. So we use it for public safety. Obviously, any kind of anything that would kick off, fleeing suspect, burglary suspect, robbery suspect, any kind of public safety aspect. We would normally use a helicopter. We can now do that ourselves. Search and rescue. Like I said before, we tried to use the Inspire 1. Now we have thermal capabilities with the Mavic 2 Advanced and Matrice M300. So that's a big game changer. We had an 80-year-old gentleman walk off. The helicopter couldn't find him. But we're like I said, we speak the same language and we're able to live stream. So if you have a active shooter or SWAT scene, you're able to put the M300 up, feed a live feed back to the command center, and they have greater situational awareness of what's going on. It's no longer, they're seeing what you're seeing. Any kind of incident response, like crash scenes, their drones are mapping major accident scenes or any kind of major crime scene, using the software to map that. It reduces the amount of time you spend on scene, closing down a road, stuff like that. And I mentioned the other departments in the city. We're also using it for mapping, helping them out. Fulshear, a lot of construction going on in Fulshear. We're a growing city, a lot of commercial, residential, and road construction. So using the Phantom 4 for mapping, stuff like that. I mean, we're trying to cover all the gamuts, stay proficient, train on everything that we have so we can help the citizens out the best we can.
Absolutely. So I know there are several platforms that you have. If you don't mind going over kind of your favorites that you use out in the field with Fulshear PD.
Okay, we started with the Inspire 1, but we kind of, like I said, it's pretty much, we still have it. We still use it every now and then, but it's an older drone. The technology's changed so much. So in December, we acquired the Matrice 300 RTK. We have a dual gimbal setup. So we have the H20T camera. We also have a microphone and the spotlight attachment. So that has really enhanced our capabilities. That's kind of been our workhorse since December. Monday, we just acquired the Mavic 2 Advanced. So that complements our Matrice 300. So Matrice 300 is great because it can stay up for 50 minutes or so. It has great zoom, but the Mavic 2 Advanced, we can deploy a lot quicker. It's a lot more deployable. It has the same great thermal capabilities. Still a good zoom camera on it. So it's between those two, that's kind of going to be we anticipate those to be our workhorses. But we also have the Inspire 1 as a backup. We also have the Phantom 4. We even have an Air 2 that we can train with, and we're going to, try to use that for more indoor searches and stuff like that. So each one have our tasks, but the Matrice 300 and right now the Mavic 2 Advanced are kind of our workhorses. We rely on those the most.
Absolutely, yeah. And to touch on the newest of the new, as you can see here, the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced, it does actually come with that 640 by 512 resolution sensor. So you actually have the thermal imaging camera in there. You also have a 12 megapixel lens visual camera. And then also you have a 32 times zoom in there. And then lastly, you have the optional RTK module, as you can see here in the photo. So it's really, as Sergeant Henry mentioned, it's really kind of one of those quick deploy drones where you can literally have it out there in minutes on a scene or in a situation or whatever you're working on. And then to touch on the M300, as Sergeant Henry mentioned, you're getting a much better flight time. You are able to put the H20T thermal sensor on there. That actually does come with a 23 times hybrid zoom on it too. So that really kind of allows you to really get in there and make their decisions at a quick manner too. And then also there's an optional drop payload system where it can actually drop objects in a search and rescue environment. And then you can also look at the L1 LiDAR unit, which actually offers the ability to shoot images. You're able to shoot through that forest canopy and penetrate that canopy. And then that is designed for 3D modeling and mapping and so forth too. And then lastly, the Zenmuse P1, which is a 45 megapixel full frame sensor designed for mapping and surveying purposes. So this really comes in handy for crash reconstruction, mapping, any type of reconstruction or anything like that where you need a pure mapping sensor. That's when the P1 comes in handy. So now I'll go into a little bit of a reminder. We actually have a public safety lunch and learn coming up here. It is a first come, first serve. Once this webinar is finished, we'll actually send you a registration link for that too. We're actually going to do that here at our office so that you can actually see the drones in action in different situations. Now I'm going to roll right into the Q&A session. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put that into the section here, the question and answer section. I'll give it about a minute or two to see if anybody has any questions. Let's see, and feel free to go ahead and type those in if you have any.
I'll wait for questions. I was going to just add that, I talked about the department getting that admin from the buy-in from the admin, and a big part of that was coming out in the demonstration that you gave. That I think that was really key on showing the capabilities, and that was a big turning point in the idea that helped us take off with our program.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do have a question. I guess both of us can actually answer this. What are the applications that Fulshear is using? I know you kind of touched on them, but I think one of them was missing persons. You're using the drones for that, and then situational awareness, obviously mapping. Is there anything else that I'm missing there?
No, we use drone sense, drone deploy. We're working on for live streaming. We use our IT guy helped us set it up. We use YouTube.
Okay.
And that's how we live stream using I'm not technical. He is RTMP in the smart controllers. The Matrice 300 and the Advanced both have smart controllers, so we're able to plug in the live stream option and live stream over YouTube. But as far as applications, drone sense and drone deploy are the kind of the main ones that we use.
Yeah, and you're using DJI Pilot for regular flying with the Advanced and the 300, and then the Phantom 4 obviously has DJI Go 4, and then the Mavic Air 2 has DJI Fly. Yeah. So kind of as you know, it's kind of a wide variety of solutions. Let's see. Where do you obtain these applications? So let's see, DJI Pilot actually comes on that controller, but as far as drone sense, we can actually send you some information on that also, and then we can also send you information on how to obtain the RTMP server too. It's actually an easy process. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sergeant Henry.
Once he showed me, I had to reach out to our IT guy, but once he showed me, I actually just set it up today. You just it takes an hour 24 hours for YouTube to authorize you. So that's the only hiccup. You need to do it in advance. And they give you basically a URL that you put in your smart controller and able to live stream from there. But we just went, yeah, that's how we did it.
Absolutely. And then which aircraft is easiest for new pilots? I would say, honestly, I would recommend the Mavic Air 2. Does that sound pretty close to it as far as new pilots, Sergeant Henry?
That's what I started with personally. I got an Air 2 that I started with, but it's not much of a learning curve to transition to the Matrice 300 or the Advanced. They're pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Yeah,
and the controls really kind of from the Mavic Air 2 or even the Mavic Mini. I mean, you go all the way up to the 300 and it's pretty much the same controls throughout that process. And DJI is really good about that, making their products easier for people to use. So let's see here if we have any more questions. I think that's about it as far as questions go. Let me go and check on the video that we were trying to show earlier. Let's see, folks. Yeah, it looks like it's not showing again. But anyways, we'll go right into it. I want to say thank you to everybody that's attending today. We really appreciate your time that you've taken out of your day to attend our webinar. I want to say thank you to Sergeant Henry, who's attending here today with Fulshear PD.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. Thank you to LinkedAll. Thanks, everyone, for. If you have any questions, email me, whenry@fulsheartexas.gov. I'll help you answer any questions. And like I said, most law enforcement that's involved in the drone community, super helpful. So if I can't answer your question, I know somebody who can. We'll try to get you pointed in the right direction. Just shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank y'all very much.
Absolutely, and the same goes for me. So anytime you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to email me at michaelc@linkedall.com or give me a call at 281-822-9892, or you can email us at sales@linkedall.com and we can help you. And just keep in mind, we are here in Houston, so We're right off of West Park Drive in Beltway 8. So feel free to stop by, or we can set up a time to do a demo. Once again, I want to thank everybody for attending, and we'll get this emailed out to you as a recording, and then we will also send you that video out there too. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your time.